हेलो अब्दुल समद, कैसे हैं?
और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, आप सुनाएं।
हाँ बिल्कुल ठीक। अ, कैसी जा रही है स्टडीज?
सर बहुत अच्छी।
हाँ, वेरी
जी
गुड।
सर।
कोई इशू?
नो सर, अभी तक तो कोई इशू नहीं है।
बढ़िया, जबरदस्त। एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग की सारी देख ली है आपने वीडियोस?
ये सर देख लिए।
अच्छा, तो समझ में आ गई हैं सारी चीज़ें?
ये सर समझ में आ गई है, लेकिन थोड़ा इशू है।
अच्छा, चलें उसको आज रिजॉल्व कर लेते हैं।
जी सर बिल्कुल।
यार ये मेरे जो ना इसका बैटरी ख़त्म हो गई है, इसकी हेडफोन की। मैं चेंज मैं इसको चेंज करके आ रहा हूँ।
जी सर।
अब तो समझ आवाज़ आ रही है मेरी?
जी सर आ रही है।
चलें ठीक है, बस मेरे ख्याल में ज़रूरत नहीं ना हेडफोन को यूज़ करने
जी सर।
की। आकिल, हमाद, ताहिर, राशिद, प्रेम। ये गैलेक्सी J6 कौन है भाई? यार इन्हें कहें कि अपना नाम लिखें, फिर रिमूव करेंगे, फिर हम ऐड करेंगे ना।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
सलाम हमाद, कैसे हो?
अल्लाह का शुक्र सर, आप सुनाए ठीक ठाक है।
दुआ। बेटा ये गैलेक्सी J6 कौन है?
पता नहीं सर,
इसको कहें कि अपना जो ना।
वो अभी तक कनेक्टिंग ही हो रहा है सर।
अच्छा, हमाद क्या अपडेट है?
यस सर।
रोगा है आज?
जी सर।
रोगा रख रहे हो?
जी जी रख रहे हैं सर।
माशाल्लाह माशाल्लाह, अच्छी बात है यार, जबरदस्त है।
हमारे तो बहुत ठंडे रोजे हैं सर।
क्यों?
रमजान सारा सर, क्या कहते हैं, बारिशें हो रही हैं सर
कहाँ
पंजाब
पर?
में।
अच्छा।
अटक में सर।
अच्छा, यार ये तो अच्छी बात है, ये हमारे
यस
साथ
सर।
नहीं है यार। ये है ना हम।
सर वहाँ तो सुने हैं बहुत ज्यादा गर्म है सर, सिंध में सर।
यहाँ पर तो हालत ऐसी है कि बंदा जो है ना
यस सर।
2 घंटे का रोजा चला ले, बड़ी बात है।
यस सर।
तो मैं
तो और सुनाए सर, ठीक ठाक है।
बाकी दुआ है, शुक्र है अल्लाह का। आप हमाद इस पे NTHP पे हो?
यस सर, NTHP 18 सर।
18, अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, सही सही।
सर वो एफ लगी थी ना सर, दोबारा से पढ़ रहे हैं।
आ, और आगे यही कहोगे कि आपने एक लगाई थी ना?
यस सर।
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल यार, ये
तो
यकीन
आपको
करो।
बताया था पहले।
हाँ, मुझसे गलती हो गई, मैं यकीन करूँ अगर दोजख में गया ना तो ये रीजन यही बनेगा।
नहीं सर, इंशाल्लाह नहीं जाएंगे।
साक्षी, जवेरिया, अभी।
सर वो सिर्फ किस्मत में थी इसलिए लगी थी।
किस्मत में नहीं थी, पढ़ा नहीं था सही तरीके से। किस्मत।
नहीं सर, बस वो हो जाता है।
हाँ। यार ये ऑटो ज्वाइन मुझे करवाना चाहिए था, ये तो टाइम ले रहा है। अगर हम, मेरे ख्याल में
सर
जूम ने ये
अभी तक 21 आए हैं सर।
जूम ने शायद ये ना कर लिया है कि अब आप जब तक परमिट नहीं करेंगे लोग ज्वाइन नहीं कर पाएंगे ना। एनीवे सो बाकी सब चीजें सही है आप लोगों के यहाँ? अकबर, अकबर कैसे हैं आप? अकबर, आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
जी बिल्कुल आ रही है।
चले सही है। अभी I do not see more participants joining. Let me share LMS screen so that I can answer the question that you might have uploaded. मैं अपनी स्क्रीन शेयर कर लेता हूँ ताकि आप लोगों को आपके सवाल नजर आए। वैसे by the way, have you people put some question on the forum? 4 क्वेश्चन हैं। चलें, 1 question by Sayyid Mohammad Ahmed, great, by Filza, by Ariba, by Manish. थैंक यू यार, आप लोगों ने क्वेश्चन अपलोड किए हैं, क्योंकि ये इम्पोर्टेंट है कि आप लोग क्वेश्चन अपलोड करेंगे तो मैं इनको आंसर कर पाऊंगा, अदरवाइज मेरे लिए बड़ा मुश्किल होता है। यार ये आप गैलेक्सी कौन है आप? क्या नाम है आपका? गैलेक्सी J6। हेलो
सर
यार, अपना नाम ये चेंज कर लें। क्या नाम है आपका?
कैसा सर?
आपका नाम क्या है?
आईबी 900 से
कहीं नहीं जैसे पर तो सोना बैठी हूँ कैसी जगह जो माइक ऑन
थोड़ी सर कनेक्शन प्रॉब्लम।
पहले आप अपनी अपनी जो है ना ये कैमरास ऑफ कर लें, अदरवाइज इट वुड बी अननेसेसरली रिक्वायरिंग अ लॉट ऑफ बैंडविड्थ। तो अपने अपनी पहले कैमरास को आप जो है ना ऑफ कर लें। चले आप सबने
लेब बेला कभी सबमिट करनी है
एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग वाला कंप्लीट कर लिया है चैप्टर?
और लखे ना मतलब सबमिशन लगाएंगे तो नाम करने थोड़ा टाइम बचेगा
बेटा साक्षी अपना बंद कर लें ये जो ना माइक।
हाँ देखो मास दिन चले गए तो इवेंट के जो कंप्लीट
ओके बेटा अपना अपना माइक बंद कर लें, अदरवाइज इट विल बी क्वाइट अ बिग ट्रबल फॉर मी। ठीक है? Okay, so I hope that all of you have seen these 9 videos related to exception handling. I can see only 4 questions. So first I will answer those questions and then I will move forward. अकबर अपनी कैमरा ऑफ कर लें बेटा, कैमरा ऑफ कर लें क्योंकि अदरवाइज it will be requiring a lot of bandwidth. Okay, so the first question is from Syed Mohammad Ahmed. Ahmed, आप हैं यहाँ पर? Ahmed, you can unmute your mic and let me know if you are around. Ahmed? Okay. Filza, are you there? So their question is, can you please explain a bit more about difference between throw and throws? Can you please explain a bit more about the difference between throw and throws? देखें, थ्रो और थ्रोज में जो फर्क है, इन दोनों में जो फर्क है ये बात आपको ध्यान में रखनी पड़ेगी कि यार अपनी वीडियो ऑफ कर लें। ये जो लोग अभी अभी तक अपनी वीडियो खोल के बैठे हुए हैं, अपनी वीडियो ऑफ कर लें, क्योंकि आई डू नॉट वांट कि हमें बहुत ज़्यादा बैंडविड्थ रिक्वायर्ड हो। Akil, are you also online? Akil?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so you are online from Sri Lanka, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. It means that our mode of communication must be in English. Okay, so the first question that I'm going to answer is from Syed Mohammad Ahmed. His question is, can you please explain a bit more about the difference between throw and throws? Who would like to answer it? Is there somebody in this group who say that I will answer this question? Who's going to volunteer? Sakshi, can you answer the question? Sakshi, are you there? Sakshi, are you there? I'm going to unmute you. You can answer the question. Okay. Sakshi, I don't think you are there. Ariba, are you there? Ariba, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
okay. Would you like to answer this question? The question is, can you please explain a bit more about the difference between throw and throws?
Sir, when we have throw, so we meant that we are throwing an exception by ourselves. Like we want to throw an exception.
Okay.
If there is no exception, like array array index out of bound or like that arithmetic one. So
Okay.
we want to throw exception.
Okay.
And with throws, we meant that with throws we meant I am also a bit confused in throws. So
Okay.
throw to
Okay.
ठीक है, but throws.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. No problem. No problem. See, Mohammed Ahmed, Filza, Ariba, and all of you, these these two keywords are very different. We need to understand that throw, as Ariba was telling, that this is used to throw exception deliberately. I mean, sometimes we say that though situation is not there for throwing exception, but we still would like to throw an exception. This is especially required when we are creating our own exception, because when you create your own exception, then Java runtime environment will not identify it. You will have to throw it deliberately. You will have to throw it based on some condition, right? It means that otherwise your exception cannot be thrown. So throw keyword is there to throw an exception, to make sure that an exception has been thrown. And then the keyword throws is actually a kind of indication that we usually give to the caller. We usually define it with the method definition. You can see here. You can see here. I am going to write here maybe public void my method function beta times pi, please time pi. Okay, so if I have got this my method, now remember, if I've got a situation inside this method, say for example, I say file input stream, file input stream equal to new file input stream, and then I say hello.txt. This is, I'm actually creating a connection to a file. Maybe I want to read the file, right? Now, when you have this hello.txt, it means this is a file that I want to read. So you are actually opening a connection to this file. And opening a connection can be done by using file input stream. Now remember, when you are opening a connection to any file, there is a potential that an exception will be thrown, and that exception is file not found exception. Right? This exception may be thrown. Now, this is a checked exception. When I say this is a checked exception, I mean that compiler can identify that this exception can be thrown at the runtime. And compiler says that if you are writing some code and if that code is potentially going to throw some exception at the runtime, and if compiler can identify them, then compiler will say you have to keep this code in try or catch. But if you are lazy, you say no, I do not want to try and catch. This is quite a lengthy code. Then the second option is such type of exceptions you can write here. Throws file not found exception. Right. Now what does that mean? That means we are informing to the compiler that yes, we understand there is a thread that this exception will be thrown, but don't worry, we'll take care of it. Right. It means that now you are kind of taking responsibility on your own shoulder. You are saying that you are kind of informing compiler that we know that this file not found exception might be thrown. We are aware of this thread. You just don't worry about it. And we are also going to write try and catch block because I'm quite busy, quite lazy. So I do not want to write a lengthy code of try and catch. So this is a kind of an alternate way of informing compiler that yes, I understand an exception might be thrown, but I'll take care of it. So this is actually to avoid try and catch block. Now remember, that does not mean that your exception will be handled. No, exception will not be handled because you are saying to the compiler, I'm taking responsibility. You might be taking responsibility because you are 100% sure that this file exists. So in that case, you are telling compiler, I know that this statement might throw file not found exception, but I take responsibility on my own shoulder, so don't worry about it. So when you write this statement, then compiler will ignore it. Compiler will say, okay, if you do not want to write try and catch, I can still compile code for you, but then obviously it is your responsibility if exception is thrown at the runtime. Because in order to understand the use of throws, I mean throw with S, you also need to understand difference between checked exception and unchecked exception. If you see my PowerPoint, if you see my PowerPoint, I gave you a list of checked exception and a list of unchecked exception. Spring online link, not this, should be in my lectures, right? Exception handling. So if you remember, if you saw my PowerPoint, I gave you a list of exceptions which are checked and exceptions which are unchecked exceptions. You can see here, these are unchecked exception, arithmetic exception, array index out of bounds exception, array store exception. When I say these are unchecked, uh, when I say these are unchecked exceptions, we mean that compiler will not take note of these exceptions, right? Even if you have got a statement which might potentially throw an arithmetic exception, but compiler will not know it. Compiler is quite an innocent guy, so he won't be able to really recognize if this statement can throw an arithmetic exception. So compiler will ignore it, your code will be compiled, compiler will kind of do not take a notice of it, so those are unchecked exceptions. But on the other hand, we have these checked exceptions. These checked exceptions are those like class not found, clone not supported, illegal access, instance exception. You know, this is only a limited list. Otherwise, there are many, you know, other unchecked, other checked exceptions, which are, I mean, the list is quite long. But those checked exceptions are those which are actually taken note by compiler, and if you do not provide a proper handling mechanism, then compiler will not compile it. But even then, if you want to compile it, you can use keyword throws. So it's a kind of indication to the compiler that I know that this exception might be thrown, but just ignore it and compile my code. This is also, I mean, look at the method definition now. If you look at the method definition, we say the method name is the my method, its return type is void, access modifier is public, and then we also say there is a potential if you call this method, it might throw an exception. It means now you are kind of giving warning to the caller. You are informing to the caller that if you call this method, this might throw file not found exception. It means that in that case, the caller will be quite, careful. Caller will see the definition and caller will understand that if I call this my method, it might throw file not found exception. It means that now it is the responsibility of caller to take care of file not found exception. Right. So this is where you will use keyword throw. And throw, as Ariba also told us, you just write throw, throw, and then you write the, new arithmetic exception. Right. You say, I want to throw an exception. Right. So this is how you can throw a new exception. Even though there is no situation, but you want to still throw an exception, then you will use keyword throw. And as I told you earlier, I mean, I have also given one example in my recorded videos, the account balance exception, account balance exception. Now, you know that Java does not know this exception because we have created this exception for ourselves. And Java does not know the situation when I should throw this exception. So you actually say the condition, you say if balance is less than 0, then you throw this new exception. So for throwing exception deliberately, you will use keyword throw. The caller that method might throw an exception, you will use keyword throw. That is the difference in throw and throws. Okay, so can I move to the next question? बेटा अपने अपने माइक साफ कर लें प्लीज. दिस इज क्वाइट डिस्टर्बिंग. मैं हर एक मिनट के बाद माइक ऑफ नहीं कर सकता सबके. आप अपने अपने माइक ऑफ कर लें. Okay, then why the program is causing an error if we do not write through the illegal access exception of the main? Very good question. See, Ahmad, as I've already told you, this illegal access exception is a checked exception. And checked exceptions are those which are checked by the compiler. For this checked exception, compiler knows that there is a situation that an exception can be thrown. Those are actually checked by compiler. And illegal access exception is one of those exceptions which are known to the compiler. So when there is a situation of illegal access exception, then compiler will not allow you to compile because it is a checked exception. And if there is a situation of exception, can you please switch off your microphone? Plan. अरसलान, आप अपना माइक बंद करें. अरसलान और अकबर. All of you, please switch off your mic. जब मैं आपसे कहूँगा, at that time you will unmute your mic. For rest of the time, you will have to mute your mic. Okay, so I hope I have answered this question. अरसलान अपना या बंद कर लें कैमरा. अरसलान अपना कैमरा बंद कर लो.
Sir.
जी सर।
इसको बताएंगे कैसे मतलब
हेलो।
solve होता है। नया बंदा है ना, इसको मतलब समझ में नहीं आया है।
Okay, so we move to the next question. If any exception is caught, then it will be sent to the catch block, and once it is over, the outer code will be executed. Then what is the need of finally block? Very good question. Ahmed, see, finally block, the execution of finally block is absolutely guaranteed. I mean, this is the good thing about the finally block. See, the execution of catch block is conditional. If there is exception in the try block, the catch block will be executed. Otherwise, catch block will not be executed. Point number two, if say for example, inside try block, you foresee arithmetic exception. So you provide a catch block for arithmetic exception. And you know that that catch block for arithmetic exception will only execute if there is arithmetic exception. But if say for example, at runtime, a different situation arises, and the situation becomes a situation where array index of bound exception is thrown. Now, obviously, the catch block which you have written for arithmetic exception cannot be executed because inside try block, you have not thrown JRE has not thrown arithmetic exception, it has thrown array index of bound exception. It means your catch block will not be executed. Now, if your catch block will not be executed, it means that your code will be terminated. Rest of the code after try block won't be executed. Now there is a situation in which there are some statements which you want to be absolutely sure that these statements must be executed. For example, closing a connection to a file, closing a connection to a socket, to internet, right? Now, if you want to be absolutely sure that when I end program, the connection to the file should be closed. Now, if that closing connection is after try block, is say for example, after the catch block or inside catch block, and if that catch block has not executed, it means that that connection will be open forever, will remain open forever. And that is quite dangerous because if your program has opened a connection to a file, and if you have not been able to close connection to the file, and without closing connection to the file, the program has ended, it means other programs, other applications will not be able to open connection to the same file. It means that you will be possessing a resource unnecessarily. You are kind of damaging the resource. So if you want to be absolutely sure that some statement must be executed, then those should be kept inside finally block. Because whether or not an exception is thrown, finally block will execute. So if you want to be 100% sure that few statements are executed in any case, then those should be kept inside finally block. We can even close the file as you mentioned in video right after the catch block. That's fine, but it is true only when if you are sure that your catch block will execute. I mean, as a programmer, you thought that arithmetic exception will be thrown. So you make arrangement to catch arithmetic exception. But at runtime, you do not see arithmetic exception. You see array index out of bounds exception. It means that your code, your catch block will not be executed. And if your catch block will not be executed, then you know that default handler will come into action. And when default handler come into action, it displays information about the exception, but then program terminates. And if program terminates before the statement that you want to be 100% sure that it should be executed, then it won't be executed. It means that you will still be possessing a valuable resource of file, which you obviously do not want. Right. So finally block is a block that is guaranteed to be executed. And you usually keep sort of code inside finally block, which you want to be 100% guaranteed that they should be executed. Okay, Ahmed, I hope I'm clear. Filza, are you clear on that? If you have more question on that, otherwise I can move to the next question. Filza, are you there? Filza, are you there? Ahmad? I don't think these two guys are here. No problem. We can move to the next question. The next question is from Ariba. She says, sir, I'm a bit confused in the lecture of creating own exception. I do not get the point that how the statement is displaying using twistring method when exception is thrown. Could you please elaborate it more deeply? I think in order to understand, in order to answer this question, you need to understand the behavior of twistring. Right, the behavior of twistring. Let me check it. It should be here. The exception handling. Okay. So through nested try, finally exception demo, account balance demo. Right. I think this right. Okay. So this is the code that I used in my video lecture. Remember one thing. The question was raised by. The question was raised by whom? By whom? By Ariba. Ariba, remember one thing. This twisting method is a special method. This method is actually coming from this twisting method is coming from Java dot lang dot object. Right. We know what is Java dot lang dot object. Rashid, can you answer? What is Java dot lang dot object? Rashid Abbas. I want you to comment on that. Java dot lang dot object. What is Java dot lang dot object?
Sir, Java.lang.object is a class from where toString method is overridden.
Okay. This is the one thing. And second.
Sorry, certificate. Second means.
Okay, you're right. That toString method is coming from Java dot lang dot object. What is Java dot lang dot object? It's a class, but you should say that Tahir want to answer. Yes, Tahir, go ahead. Go ahead, Tahir. You can answer the question.
सर ये जो ऑब्जेक्ट है ना ये हमारी क्लास है और ये ऑब्जेक्ट क्लास वो सुपर क्लास होती है हर क्लास की तो ऑब्जेक्ट क्लास में हमारे पास मेथड्स पड़े होते हैं और हम ट्विस्टिंग मेथड को वहां से ही ओवरराइड करते हैं
Excellent.
तो
Excellent.
ये जो जावा डॉट लेंगे ये हमारी डायरेक्टरीज हैं जावा एक हमारी सुपर डायरेक्टरी है उसकी सब डायरेक्टरी है लेंगे और उसके अंदर हमारा ये ऑब्जेक्ट क्लास पड़ा हुआ है तो जो सुपर क्लास है हमारे एवरी क्लास की
Okay. Okay. Excellent, Tahir. Thank you very much. I mean, you very rightly pointed out that java.lang.object is a class which is actually super class for all the classes in Java. And those classes may be user defined or those are already existing classes in Java API. All of those classes are actually subclass of java.lang.object, right? And you very rightly said that Tahir and both of you actually said that this toString method is coming from java.lang.object. Now this toString method is defined in java.lang.object. It means that we are overriding it, method overriding it. So my account balance class, which is being extended from exception, but it is also subclass of java.lang.object. And when I write here toString method, I'm actually overriding it. When I say I'm overriding, I mean that it has already been declared in java.lang.object, and I'm overriding same method in my object. Now remember, its behavior is extremely useful. Whenever you print the object of a class, its toString method is automatically called. Let's see the class. Say for example, I say my class, right? In my class, I have say for example public void my method, and then here I say system dot out dot println I am my method. Right? I'm saying I am my method. Right? And then say for example, I say string. This is the return type to string. Right? It means that we have to return a string from this method. So we say return I am toString method inside my class. Right. So we are going to return this string. Now, what I do, I have another class. I say my class demo. Right. Inside public static void main string arg. Right. Here, I'm doing nothing. I just say my class MC equal to new my class. Right. Now see what I'm doing. System dot out dot println. I say MC. See here, what I'm printing. I'm printing object of my class. Now remember, whenever you print object of a class, then by default, the toString method from that class will be called. It means that when I print object of my class, behind the scene, this toString method will be called, and whatever it is returning a string obviously, that string will actually be written here. And in this case, it is I am toString method inside my class. It means the output of this program will be I am toString method inside my class. Remember, I also declared this method, but this will not be called because this is a method which I am not overriding. Right? This method is not declared in java.lang.object. In java.lang.object, I have got only this method and I'm overriding it. And when you override a method with an M2 string, you know that it will be automatically called when you print object of this class. So when I'm printing MC, which is object of my class, it means that here the output from toString method will be written. It is just like you are doing this MC dot toString. Right? It is just like this. I mean, both of these are equivalent. But then Java says, I want to do it for you. You don't need to call it. You just print object of a class, and by default, its toString method will be called. Right? So you can see here, if I run it, I should. This is my class demo. Right? Save as exception handling. My class demo.java. Right? Okay. My class demo.java. Control C. Okay. Okay. So I can come CD, Control V, D, CLS path equal to C. After, please switch off your mic. Program files, Java, JDK, and then okay, I think that's it. Right, Java C, I can okay. So you can see here now Java C my class demo.java compiled problem to string. Okay, can somebody tell me why is this error? Can somebody please guide me? What is this error? See here, attempting to assign weaker access privilege. Yes.
Sir, it should be public, sir.
Okay. Why? Why, Rashid?
Because it's a weaker means in Java.lang object it is public, so we are giving it default. So it's a weaker privilege, sir.
Excellent. Thank you, Syed. It means that inside the java.lang.object, this toString method is defined as a public method, and when you override, you cannot make it more restrictive. We learned this concept when we learning inheritance. In inheritance, we learned that if your method is, say for example, protected in the base class, you can make it public in the derived class. But if you have got protected in the base class, you cannot make it private in the derived class, because you can assign a weaker access modifier, but you cannot assign a stronger access modifier. Very good, Rashid. Thank you very much. And I'm really enjoying. I mean, if you people participate like this, I will be over the moon. Okay, so now we can compile. Okay, that's it. Huh? Java my class demo. You can see here, I am twisting method inside my class. So you can see here, we never call twisting. We never call twisting. You can see here, we never call twisting method, but it was called because this is the behavior of this method. Java says if you print object of a class, then by default, its twisting method will be called. Right. I don't know who is this dot HP. Let's see. Okay, so the next question. I hope you are clear with this understanding. Uh, I'm a bit confused. I do not get the point. How statement is displaying using twisting. Ariba, you got the answer right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, beta. Then the next question is from Manish. Manish, are you there? Manish, are you there? Okay, I still answer this question with the hope that I'm recording this Zoom discussion. I will upload it on my YouTube channel and make it available on LMS. So one day, hopefully, Manish will be able to see it. Sir, can we do this to perform different action in one catch block instead of using multiple catch blocks? Try ARG0 exception. E instance of arithmetic exception. Okay. Else Masrur. Okay. That's perfect. I think. I mean, he has gone one step ahead. He's actually kind of handling the exception in a very innovative way. Very good. Yeah, I like it. So he says try name equal to we are trying to read name from command line, and then last name from command line, and then this is division by 0. Right now, as you are aware, if we do not provide any command line argument, then array index out of bounds exception will be thrown. And if we are providing two command line arguments, then we know that array index out of bounds exception will not be thrown. We will see arithmetic exception. In both cases, because they are kept inside try block, and here one catch block which is written here, and inside this catch block he says if E, because he is handling exception with base class. You remember that we discussed in the video recording that this base class exception can handle all type of exception, right? You can write an appropriate catch block by writing, if you are dealing with arithmetic exception, you can provide catch block for arithmetic exception. If you are catching array index out of bounds, you can provide catch for array index out of bounds. But if you are very lazy, you say I do not want to write many catch blocks, you can just write one catch block, which is with the exception class, because exception class is the base class for all the exception classes in Java, right? And it is uh, extended from throwable, right? And throwable is actually, kind of super class for all the exception classes in Java. So he says, I'm handling exception by using exception class, fantastic. And then he says, if E is an instance of, this is, we learned in our inheritance class, instance of is a kind of operator which will check if on the left hand side, if this variable is actually an object of this class, right? So here he want to find out if E is actually object of arithmetic exception. If so, he displays the just a message about what exception has been thrown. Otherwise, he says display E, but also display Mansoor and then Mehmet. Fantastic, right? Now, obviously, this is a one way to handle this exception, but we can also have multiple catch blocks. We can have try here, and then we can have one catch for arithmetic and another catch for array index out of bounds exception. So it's up to you. I mean, whatever you are feeling more comfortable with. Usually, lazy programmers, they will provide one catch block with the exception, and you know that it is jack of all, it is 6 number ka pana, so it will catch all the exceptions, right? But if you want to get more information about exception, then it is always a good practice to write an appropriate catch block. So if you foresee an arithmetic exception, you should have a catch block for arithmetic exception. If you foresee an illegal access exception, you should catch illegal access exception. It's a good practice actually. So the same code obviously can be written by having multiple catch blocks and one for each type of exception. That's all. I had only 4 questions today. I'm open to more questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand and I'll give the mic to you. If you have questions from exception handling. Yes? Anybody? If you have any question? If not question from exception handling, you can ask any other question, any other general question. Prem?
अस्सलाम सर।
Yes, Faidan, go ahead.
सर पढ़ाई के हिसाब से बात नहीं करनी थी, एक ऐसी मुझे बात आपसे पूछनी थी।
हाँ, क्या शादी के बारे में बात करना चाहती हो अपने?
नहीं सर, वो तो पुरानी हो गई सर, अलग बात थी।
हाँ, चले बताएं।
सर ये पूछा सर, IPS सर लाइब्रेरी हमारे लिए कब तक खुलेगी सर? अभी आप खुलेगी नहीं सखर वालों के लिए?
Library, I don't think. After July 15, there might be a possibility, but before July 15, absolutely no possibility. Because you know that.
और सर एक और मसला था सर, ये हमने रिकाउंट के लिए सर दिए थे अपने पेपर, तो सर उसका भी कुछ पता नहीं चल रहा।
Yeah, those I think there are 2 people you can contact. One is write email to controller. If he is not responding, then you can write to your coordinator. Your coordinator is, I think, Sir Hussein Mughal.
Yes, sir, Hussein Mughal.
You can write him, keeping your HOD in copy, because these guys are responsible to handle your queries. If Imran Khan is not answering, if controller office is not answering, then you know these are the guys you need to talk to, because they are around.
Okay,
they can
sir.
even go to Imran Khan's office.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. Okay. So any other question? Any other question? Any other question? Remember, I'm not very happy that not many of you have actually, watched my videos. Maybe you are busy in your $1 million businesses. See here, I mean, chained exception, only 29 people have viewed. User exception, only 26. Finally, only 25. Throws, 27. So I have more than 100 students on my, LMS, but only these 25, 26 students are watching videos. What is the reason? There are other guys. Are they afraid of corona? Kanchan, are you there?
Sir, कह रहे हैं सर अगर वीडियो देखेंगे तो कोरोना हो जाएगा।
जी Kanchan, have you watched all videos?
सर एक रहती है, सारी देख ली दूसरी।
And you are clear with the concepts, eh?
सर 2 topics are still remember, जिसमें मेरा कॉन्सेप्ट इतना क्लियर नहीं हुआ, लेकिन मैं YouTube से देख के वो क्लियर कर दूंगी, ये थ्रो और थ्रोस वाला।
सही, चले वो अभी भी मैंने डिटेल में स्पॉन्सर किया है, so you can again watch that video. Okay, so जी बेटा पूछें।
सर जो हम ट्राई में सर एरर्स दे रहे हैं एक्सेप्शन से, सर अगर हम उसमें 2 एक्सेप्शन दे रहे हैं, एक अर्थमेटिक का भी और एक एरे इंडेक्स का भी, तो सर अगर वो अर्थमेटिक उसको फाइंड हो जाता है तो सर डायरेक्ट वो केच में आता है, तो सर जो दूसरा एरर है वो तो मतलब देखता ही नहीं, तो सर ये फायदा हुआ कि हम एक ही ट्राई में 2 एरर्स लिख रहे हैं।
Very good question, Kanchan. Very good question. See here, I mean, she's asking that if a situation is there, and in that situation, if more than one exception is thrown, immediately try block terminates. It does not go beyond. See here, I mean, if you see even in this question, okay, the question that was asked today, even in that question, we had these two exceptions. Okay, come on. Okay, right. So in this question, if we have exception here, the code will be terminated and this part will never be executed. So it's a behavior of try block. In try block, as soon as an exception is thrown, the control is transferred to the catch block. It is not that it will come back. No, it will not come back. The remaining part inside the try will not be executed. Even if there is catch block, then control will go after catch block. It is not that you catch exception and then go back to the try block. Because this is not control statement. This is not for loop. This is the exception. So if inside try block, you foresee a situation in which exception is thrown, then remaining part of try will not be executed. Now, as a programmer, it is your responsibility that you have one try block for one type of exception. This is the reason why they say that inside one try block, you should not write statements which can potentially, throw more than one exception. Because if you do that, then as you said, if there is an exception at line number 10, then, try block will be terminated and it will search for the catch block. When it goes to the catch block, it will not come back to the try block. Maybe that after try block, there were 10 more lines and they were also very much important to your business logic, but they will not be executed. So they say that it is good programming practice that when you foresee more than one exception, then keep them in separate try block. Do not keep them in just one try block and then you run into a risk when some part of the try block may not be executed because exception was thrown at the early stage of the try block. So you're right. I mean, it's a kind of dark side of try block. If you have an exception, then immediately try block terminates. It search for the catch block. If you provided catch block, it will be executed and code will not be terminated. It will continue after catch block. It will not come back to the try block, right? Because as I told you earlier, it's not for loop that you go to the catch, you again go to the try, and you have again exception, you again come to the catch block. I mean, in that case, you may never end execution from this try and catch block. Probably that is the reason why they said this does not make sense. So in situation when you are foreseeing more than one exception, you should keep in separate try blocks.
Okay,
Right.
sir. Thank
I
you.
hope you got the answer. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have more questions? Do we have more questions? Hello. Hello. जी सर, आप कौन बात कर रहे हैं? यार मैं थोड़ा हूँ अपने जूम सेशन में अपने स्टूडेंट के साथ. I thought you are one of my students. So can you please call me after 5 p.m? Thank you. Okay. So any other question? Otherwise, I have got a very good news for you guys. You will receive this news eventually from Sakhar IBA, but I thought I should kind of share this good news with you guys. Do you have more questions related to exception handling? Okay, I don't see any hand raised. I do not see anybody talking. So the news is people, obviously, all these courses which we are running at the moment, they will continue running, and those courses which are still remaining, those will be started by 18th of this month, hopefully in 2-3 days. So it is absolutely sure that we are going online. I mean, there is absolutely no possibility that we suspend this spring 2020. आपकी बातों में आके मैंने 4-5 वीक जाया किए. बच्चों ने मुझे काफ़ी कहा सर कोर्स रोक दे. I then stopped the course, but then I thought there was no gain except losing 4-5 weeks, and now everybody's online. Now, many of teachers who are not online, they are now being asked to come online. But then Sakai has also come up with a very comprehensive assessment policy, and that assessment policy is very much student friendly. It is very much, uh, in your favor. To me, it's a kind of blessing in disguise because now we have shifted to the online mode. There are certain advantages. The biggest advantage is there will be no external evaluation. Whole the evaluation would be done by the teacher. In this case, obviously by me and by Sir Khalid and Sir Atif. Point number one. Point number two. Uh, those who say we cannot continue because of internet reason, because of any other reason, then they can withdraw course. Uh, we have been very strict on withdrawal, not more than 1 or 2 courses withdrawal. But in this case, because we are in the special situation, so even if you want to withdraw more than 2 courses, you can, 3 courses, 4 courses, or even you can freeze your full semester. It means that your spring semester can be frozen, and when you come back in fall, which is again unlikely. I've been telling you since beginning that this pandemic is a long-term thing. We may not even resume in August. Our whole fall semester may also be online because if you see the trend worldwide, uh, in US, they have already announced that all the universities will have their fall semester online. Similarly, I know a couple of my students, they were going to Ireland for their PhD, but then they received email from Ireland that during fall, you can stay at your home, you will work from home, and we are shifting to the online mode. So Ireland, uh, US, many other countries, they have already announced that there will be no on-campus activity during fall semester, which is starting from August. I also foresee maybe in IBA, we will be extremely lucky if we resume in August. I don't think we will be able to resume. Maybe that fall semester will also be online. So if you are taking a decision that I need to freeze my semester, then you should keep in mind that even fall might also be online. So there is no, gain of wasting your time. If you do not have internet access, maybe you can relocate yourself to some bigger city, try to go to your maybe relatives or your uncle. I mean, you have to find out a solution to your internet problems. Those students who are on scholarship, we have also released them stipend. Uh, we know that you're not on campus, you do not need living allowance, but even then we have transferred living allowance so that you can buy internet packages. We are trying to facilitate you. So this is the point number two. In normal circumstances, we do not allow more than 2 courses withdrawal, but in this case, even if you want to freeze your semester, you can do it because we understand that even after all efforts, some of the students may not be able to continue online because of the internet issues or maybe because of the electricity issues or maybe because of the space issues, whatever. But IBA will be giving you an opportunity to freeze your semester if you are in trouble for any reason. Point number three, uh, your whole assessment will be done by your teacher, and end of the day, if you do not agree with the assessment which your teacher is doing, you might opt for a grade that is called I, incomplete. When you go for incomplete grade, it means that uh, that teacher will just give you pass. He will say you are pass. And then when you come to campus, you will again appear in the exam of that course in order to improve your GPA. It means that if you got GPA 2.7 in this course and you say, sir, I'm not happy with this assessment, I would like to appear in face-to-face exam. Then you can come on campus, hopefully whenever we resume, you can again give paper of the same course to improve your GPA. So that is the kind of third option. The fourth option is, even if you fail, this will not be counted in your GPA. If you pass, it will be counted. I mean, if you get 3.3 GPA, it will be counted in your overall CGPA. But if you fail, it won't be in your denominator. It means because of this semester, if you fail in a couple of courses, that F will not contribute in your CGPA. It means your CGPA will remain same as it was before spring 2020. Because we understand this is a special situation. We want to encourage you. We have kind of significantly uh, updated our assessment policy so that all the students, those who are kind of given extra effort to come online, they should not be in any case at disadvantage because of online assessment. So 4 points. Point number 1, whole assessment by teacher, no external evaluation. Point number 2, if you want to freeze, we will not charge you fees. You can come back in hopefully fall or spring 2021. The fees that you might have paid in this semester will be adjusted. You can withdraw more than 1 or 2 courses. You can withdraw 3 courses. You can withdraw 4 courses, up to you. This was the point number 2. Point number 3, if you are not happy with the assessment done by the teacher, you can request to teacher that give me grade I, which is incomplete. Grade I means that you have conducted the course, you have learned the course, but you want to do assessment face to face. You say, sir, online assessment I'm not comfortable. So when I will come back, I will give their face to face exam. So I will give you I grade, teacher will give you I grade, and when you come on campus, then you will be assessed face to face, and then your grade will be completed. This is point number 3. Point number 4, even if you get F grade, that will not be counted in your GPA. So your GPA will not go down because of securing F grade. So that was the discussion we had in our meeting yesterday, day before yesterday. That policy has been finalized. Hopefully it will be approved in a couple of days, and IBA will also officially share that policy with you. But you need to understand, this COVID-19 is not a short-term phenomenon, it is long-term. When I took first class in March 14, you can see my recording. Even in that class, I told you, we resume in June, we are not sure. Now you can see June is 15-20 days ahead, but we are sure that we are not going to resume in June, because the next date that government has given, it is 15 July. It means before 15 July, we are not going to open the campus face to face. Even after 15 July, I can see that this school year will be further extended. There might be a situation when we are running our fall semester online. So inevitably, you have to accept this change. You have to understand that these are special situations, and you have to act, exceptionally. Otherwise, I mean, you will be losing your time. It won't be a good idea that you lose a couple of your semester, even though Sakhar IBA was offering you all these online courses. And remember one thing, if you have any grievance, if you have any confusion, you can write to me. You can write to your HOD. You can even write to Vice Chancellor. You are just one email away from all these guys who are, paying you a very listening ear. So if you have any issue in online classes, you can write to them. If say, for example, course delivery is not proper, assessment is not proper, they are here to listen you. We just want to facilitate you. We just want to save your time. So it is your responsibility to come forward. I'm not happy that even today, after putting all these efforts, out of 109, only 25 students are in this Zoom session. Remember, the Zoom session I'm making mandatory. Enough of these optional things. I want everybody to come in the Zoom session. When I'm online, when I am, fasting and still sitting in the evening time for you guys, then you should also be serious. So all these 3 Zoom sessions that we are doing, myself, Sir Asif, Sir Khalid, these will be mandatory from today. I think we have question, Kashish. Yes, please go ahead.
सर आप एग्जाम भी फिर एक्सटेंड करेंगे डेट, क्योंकि सारी क्लासेस ऑनलाइन हो जाएंगी तो उसके हिसाब से सारे एग्जाम्स होंगे.
Beta, my plan is final. I'm not going to extend it. The calendar that we have shared, the calendar Sakhar IBA has shared, that also says these are the recommended dates, but you can I mean, teacher will have to conduct his exam as per his own plan. And my plan I have already shared with you. I will not be extending any date. I will be conducting exam on the date that I have mentioned in my, course plan. Because you need to
Yes, sir.
understand that IBA was expecting that they will resume from 18th of May or maybe from 1st June. But I already resumed last week, and I also conducted, 3 weeks before May. So obviously, my course plan is different from many other courses that Sakar IB is offering online. Because I was one of those teachers. I mean, there were, I think, 4 or 5 teachers. Sir Mustafa was there, a couple of other teachers. They were asked by Sakar IB to start online courses in April, just to see, I mean in March, just to see students' reaction, just to kind of pilot study. So because I started earlier, so I will be finishing earlier. More
Okay,
questions?
sir.
Are you people happy with the policy? Do you feel excited now or
Yes,
not?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Very much.
Yes, sir.
यार देखे ना, इंग्लिश में मुझे कोई इसका आ नहीं रहा. अकेला, आई एम सॉरी, I do not find any English idiom for that. But in Urdu we say पांच उंगलियां घी में है ना, मतलब you have all the advantages on your side.
सर और सर कढ़ाई में सर.
सेमेस्टर फ्रीज कर लें, वी कैन फ्रीज सेमेस्टर. एफ काउंट नहीं होगा. अगर एफ नहीं लगा, ग्रेड अच्छा मिला है तो आप उसको और अच्छा करना चाहते हैं, इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं. कोई फीस हम आपसे चार्ज नहीं करेंगे अगर आप फ्रीज कर लेते हो. ऑल दिस थिंग्स ऑब्वियसली वी आर ट्राइंग टू मेक स्टूडेंट फ्रेंडली. Okay, so if you do not have more questions, please watch my videos. I spend time. Come on. Oh, it's demotivating for me. I'm not asking you to watch my YouTube videos so that YouTube will pay me. Come on. YouTube will not pay me. You have to understand it. I'm making these videos for you guys. Please watch them. Because otherwise this Zoom session will not be very lively. This Zoom session would have been more lively had you watched all my videos. So please, I will upload videos on every Wednesday. You will have the night of the Wednesday, then Thursday night, then whole Friday day. You have to, in these 3 days you will have to just watch around 70 to 80 minutes videos and then read that chapter from the book. Because reading book is again mandatory. Is again something that you cannot avoid, right? And then when you come to my Zoom session on Friday, you should be fully equipped to ask questions. And please use the forum. Because if you upload questions on the forum, I'm extremely thankful to Ahmed, to Filza, to Ariba, to Manish, that you people have put question on the forum. But all others, I mean, on average, there should be 30 to 35 questions on the forum. If you are really, studying the videos, if you put those questions, we will learn a lot. Because otherwise, there is no point of doing the Zoom session. The Zoom session is not to introduce a new topic. The Zoom session is to answer your queries from the video lecture. So I'm trying to put my efforts, but I need your enthusiasm. I want you people also to be at least as energetic as the Sir Khalid is, Atif is, myself. So please be with us. More questions? Do you have any comment? Okay, so if not, I think there are a couple of what I वो वाला वास्ते compilation नहीं हो रहा. .hp LMS पे videos available हैं sir. Yes, you can see LMS पे सारी videos हैं. You can go there. You can see on LMS all the videos are available. LMS पे बेटा ये सारी videos हैं पड़ी हुई. आप अगर ये जो अभी रनिंग वीक है उसमें सारी videos you can see है. exception handling video 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 videos are available, right? So you can use them. I have issues in working with packages. .hp, yeah, you need to post question. आप क्वेश्चन पोस्ट करें, मैं इसका आंसर देता रहूँगा ना. प्रॉब्लम पैकेजेस सर एक डेमो देख के you post questions. By the way, you need to write your name. I don't know who's HP. Please use your name when you are logging to Zoom. So you can post question on the forum. I will answer those in my next Zoom. You need to understand that if you post question on the forum, then for us it is very easy to manage the Zoom session. Otherwise, it is extremely difficult. I mean, I cannot open all the mics and then all of you start, talking and nobody understand anything. Yes, Galaxy J7. I don't know who are you. Please write your name. Yes, you have any question?
Sir, I am Abdul Rahman Al-Sharif from IBA Community College, Nasharfroz.
Okay. Yes.
Sir, today we have joined this session and we request you to enroll us in LMS.
Abdulman, I tried to enroll, but seems like I cannot. Probably you need to ask your teacher to contact server in ICT. They actually have got a LDP server where your names are included. Sir Atif is also connected with them. Last night I tried, but I failed because probably you people are not existing on LMS. If you are existing on the LMS, only then I can aid you. And you will exist on LMS if ICT is going to aid your email in the LDP server. And adding name in the LDP server is obviously I cannot. I'm not authorized to. So you can ask your teacher to please discuss with Zafar or maybe with Sir, who's our undergrad coordinator?
Okay, sir.
हमारा अंडरग्रेड का कोऑर्डिनेटर कौन है बीएस में? हमार क्या नाम है सर का जो हमारे कोऑर्डिनेटर है?
सर मोहम्मद हुसैन मुगल सर.
सर मोहम्मद हुसैन मुगल. तो आप सर मोहम्मद हुसैन मुगल को भी बोल सकते हैं और जफर को भी बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन आप अपने टीचर से कहें कि ये दो चीजें करें. मेरे पास आप तीनों के नाम आ गए थे, मैंने कोशिश की थी लेकिन मैं कर नहीं पाया था क्योंकि मुझे वो ना नहीं किया है. ओके, मोर क्वेश्चंस?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
More questions? चलें.
सर.
Yes, yes.
सर क्यू इंटरफेस के बारे में थोड़ा बता दें.
Yeah, Umair, if you can speak it loudly.
सर क्यू इंटरफेस है ना जावा में.
क्यू इंटरफेस.
हेलो.
जी जी, QUEUE.
Yes, sir. Yes,
yes,
sir. Q interface.
See, Umair, I don't think it's the right
Yes, sir.
time. I don't think it's the right time to discuss Q because Q जो है ना आपका interface, that is actually in Java dot util package, right? Now we haven't reached to the Java dot util package. In Java dot util package, there are many many classes. You have got queue, you have got state, you have got stack. All these things are available in Java dot util package. All these are the utility classes. These are the classes that you can use to get support, right? The queue interface is actually for creating a queue, and you know the queue is first in first out. So you create a queue, instantiate it, put objects inside in the queue, and when you dequeue, you will actually get the object which you entered first. I'm not sure I should show you an example here because I will be covering Java dot util when it comes. We are still at not that stage to cover the concept of Java dot util. But I have given you an overview that queue interface is actually there to implement the concept of queue, which is a very important data structure, first in first out, and it comes from Java dot util package. And when we will be covering Java dot util, at that time I will be giving you a lot of examples from Java from this queue class. Okay, more questions from exception handling. Please inform everybody that these Zoom sessions are mandatory. If you cannot manage, you have the option. You can freeze your semester. But freezing semester won't be solving your issue. You need to understand maybe another 6 months, maybe 1 year, maybe 1.5 years. I mean, WHO has recently said we may not be able to, resume forever. They are saying that this pandemic is going to stay around. So they said we have to start learning to live with this. So you have to obviously understand it. Ahmed, I have answered your questions. I will be making this video recording available on the LMS. You can watch all your questions that you posted. I've already answered.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Do you have more questions? All of you, if you have questions, please ask. Otherwise, we are going to end the session here.
Sir?
And tomorrow you will have quiz. Umair?
Sir, last question, sir.
Please, पूछें.
सर एक्सेप्शन और एरर में क्या डिफरेंस है सर?
See, Umair, you need to understand that if I do something like this, my class, public static void main string arg, right? अब अगर मैं लिख रहा हूँ system.out.println, I say hello, say for example, right? Now you know that there is an error in this program. What is the error? Umair?
I can't find it.
What is the error?
Semicolon.
Yeah, there must be semicolon. Now this is the error that compiler will catch. It's a syntax error, right? So compiler knows that this is the error, and compiler will catch it, and it will, tell you that on this line it is the error, and then it will guide you how to remove that error. But exception is actually runtime error. So error, when you say it is compile time, exception, it is runtime. Exceptions are usually ignored by the compiler. Compiler will not take note of it, but they will appear at the runtime, and they are very dangerous. I mean, in programming languages like C, C++, in old programming languages, exception handling was not there, and because exception handling was not there, it actually causes the $1 million software to fail, because you give a software to a company, and when they run it on their premises on the first day, they see that their program has been terminated because of some exception, because of some runtime error. So obviously, because the old programming languages, they did not have exception handling, so these type of issues were there. But when you foresee that at runtime this might be the issue, then you can put them inside try blocks, provide an appropriate catch block. So at runtime, you can guard your program against termination of execution. Now your program will not be terminated. You can handle exception, and then you can move forward. But if you do not handle exception, then your code will be terminated. But then there are certain type of exceptions which you cannot handle. There are exceptions which you cannot handle, right? Those are actually runtime error. So there are some of them are compile time error, other are runtime error. Now, one of the runtime error that you cannot handle is, memory out of range, yeah, or insufficient memory. Now, these are the errors that you cannot handle, because if your code is heavy and you are running it on 1 GB RAM, and when code started loading, it actually exhausted your RAM, then that is the runtime error. It is a still exception, but you cannot handle it because it's a hardware related thing. So obviously, there are three types of, you should say, error. One is syntax error, Those will be caught by the compiler. Others are runtime errors, which you cannot handle because they are related to hardware, like insufficient memory. And then third is actually exception, which you can handle at the runtime, like arithmetic exception, array index out of bounds exception, illegal access exception, file not found exception. I mean, hundreds of exceptions are there, and you can also create your own exception. Right. So the exception you can handle. You can provide try and catch block. You can handle exception. Right. I hope you have got the answer, Umer.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. More questions? More questions?
सर हम एरर को चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन बोल सकते हैं.
Very good. Very good. Very good. एरर को चेक एक्सेप्शन नहीं बोल सकते हैं क्योंकि एरर आपका they are usually related to hardware. Those you cannot handle. Checked exceptions you can handle. Checked exceptions are those exceptions for which compiler knows. Compiler को पता चल जाता है कि ये वाली exception आएगी, जैसे कि illegal access है या file not found है, लेकिन unchecked वो जो compiler ignore कर लेता है. Checked exceptions you need to provide try and catch, or you need to use keyword throws and then inform to the caller that we might have this type of exception. So checked exception and error are separate things. Errors are usually related to hardware, which you cannot handle. I mean, if you run out of memory at runtime, you do not have any software solution to that because it's a hardware problem. If your processor is overly heated, then you cannot write any code to, cool it down. Obviously, these type of error will cause the program to be terminated at runtime, but you cannot handle them. Right? Exceptions are also runtime error, but you can handle them. You can provide try and catch. But when you simply call runtime error, it means those are the errors which are related to hardware. More questions? Yeah, please inform others that these Zoom and all these sessions are mandatory. Tomorrow we will have quiz. Tomorrow we will have quiz. Tomorrow we will have quiz. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. You can log in and appear in the quiz, and that quiz will go down at 5:30. And then I will also upload tomorrow programming assignment that will be due by Tuesday. So you will have about 2 to 3 days to complete the programming assignment. But quiz will be up only for 30 minutes. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Please mentally be ready that you cannot avoid online classes. Whole world is online. So obviously we also need to go online. With this, I will take leave and then I will upload this recording on YouTube and make it available on LMS. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, sir.
Allah Hafiz.